What's going on, everybody? Back with another video, and I'm going to be talking about some of my predictions, like hot takes about the 2023 NFL season. And first off, I got Brian Birds winning Defensive Player of the Year. He had a really underrated season, I feel like, with 12.5 sacks and 17 tackles for loss. With tackles for loss, I feel like they're underappreciated because you don't realize it could be like a play blown up. It could be like he chased down a running back on a jet or a sweep. And he had, you could argue, an all-pro season. But with the climate today, we have Nick Bosa, Micah Parsons. I'm trying to think. Like Defensive Player of the Year. Matt Judon had a really good season last year. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt's coming back. Like with that, I mean, you could see like next year, I think Brian Birds could be in that category of like TJ Watt, Nick Bosa. And I'm thinking that he's only gotten better. Every season he's gotten better. And I think this season will really pop off and it'll be a game wrecker. And I can see him having like a 15 sack, 20 tackles for off season and be in that contention for Defensive Player of the Year and maybe even win it. All right.
Lead about a half yard. And it's Moore. Took the handoff from
that's
Murray.
what I'm talking about, how tackles for loss. I feel like they're underappreciated because it could be like this, like a 4th and 1 situation.
Lead about a half yard.
It just completely messes up the play because I feel like sacks overshadow tackles for loss.
Well, Samuel's name in a while hasn't had a touch.
Garoppolo. Thrown down.
Next up, I got Garrett Wilson, could be in a contender for Offensive Player of the Year. Same thing with Brian Burns. And I know it's going to be Garrett Wilson's second year, but Justin Jefferson won in his second year. And now Garrett Wilson has a stable quarterback. Last year he had Mike White, Zach Wilson, and correct me if I'm wrong, Flacco. And they were like on and off starting. We all know Zach Wilson. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. He was a bust. Flacco's got to be in the high 30s range, like 38, 37. And Mike White is like a career backup. He did have that game where he threw like 5 touchdowns and 0 picks, but he's like a career backup. But he had 1,100 yards and 4 TDs. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year with no quarterback. And now that Aaron Rodgers is in that position, I think that he could have great numbers. But same thing with Brian Burns. He has to go against Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp's coming back, Diggs, and Devontae Adams. And Diggs and Devontae are like, Devontae's not slowing down, even a little old. But I could see him stepping up this year and getting that contention for Offensive Player of the Year now with Aaron Rodgers. But in my opinion, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is really that MVP caliber player anymore, to be honest. I'm pretty sure last year he didn't have, I don't think he had over 30 touchdowns. He might have had low 30s, but I'm pretty sure he had over 10 picks. Like, in my opinion, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers would be at that elite level like a couple of years ago when he was winning back-to-back MVP.
Too deep coverage. Watch the double move here by Garrett Wilson. Move inside, then he goes up. And how about the throw by Zach Wilson? That's
a deep drop lets the routes develop. One of his first downfield shots has Garrett Wilson. Makes field goal miss. Turns on the afterburners. He's gone. Touchdown Jets. New York.
I got Tariq Woolen being an All-Pro. Here's my thing. Tariq Woolen had an easy correct me if I'm wrong, easy All-Pro season last year, led the league in interceptions, and had 16 PBUs. He got heavily overshadowed by Sauce because he came in as the best corner in the league as a rookie. But hypothetically, if Sauce was like a rookie next year, rookie last year, Tariq Woolen would have won it over like Aiden Hutchinson, who was a really good defensive rookie. Can't really I can really only think of Hutchinson. But Tariq Woolen had an all-pro season, but he gets overshadowed like stars Jair Alexander and Ramsey just like every other player. He didn't even make All-Pro second team, which was surprising me. But I feel like he's gonna have the same level season, maybe even a step up, and he's gonna be he's gonna be considered as an elite corner in the league, along with guys like that.
It was finished and physical. The defense has been physical as Goff has been sharp, but this is intercepted by Tariq Woolen, and he's going to take it back inside for a Seahawk. Already 4 catches. Wanted to get the ball to him today. They have. As Mariota will look and throw, and that's picked off. A takeaway. That's Tariq Woolen.
Drake London, Pro Bowl receiver. Same thing with Wilson. In a way, Falcons QB was Mariota, who's, I would say, washed. I mean, he's not as good as, even if he was that good on the Titans, Tannehill was better than him. Tannehill is very underrated, underappreciated quarterback, too, with the Titans, but part of my rambling. He had an underappreciated rookie season, too, 72 receptions for 866 yards and 4 touchdowns with Mariota as a quarterback. And I couldn't name you a offensive lineman on the Falcons right now. But I also I'm a believer in Desmond Ridder. A couple years back, I don't think it was a couple years back, he was the 4 seed in college football. He led his team to the 4 seed and into the bowl games, contender for a national championship. I think London's going to take that step up with Ridder, and he's going to be like an 1,000-yard receiver, 1,200-yard receiver. And if he can get that touchdown production up, I could see him being a Pro Bowl receiver. I mean, not in conversation with, like, Diggs and Devontae, but I can see him in the conversation with, like, T. Higgins, Darnell Mooney, like those second-tier level wide receivers.
Change some of those numbers.
Second down and goal. Mariota
On the slant, it's Drake London.
For the first half. Never happened during the Sean Payton era. Big play for the Falcons. It's Drake.
Ha 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 ha. Here we go. I do not care that Tank Dell is 166 pounds. Besides, he's so underrated. I know he's 5'10", 160. It doesn't matter. He had the most production at any wide receiver last year with 1,400 yards, 110 receptions, and 17 touchdowns, led the nation in touchdowns. He just got picked up by the Texans back home in Houston. Now, if he can get that starting spot in the next couple of years, and he's got C.J. Stroud, I believe in C.J. Stroud. I'm a big Ohio State fan. I can believe he could be a solid quarterback. I can see Tank Dell being a top 3 to 5 wide receiver in the league. I don't care what you say. He is the most explosive wide receiver last year. You could you got guys like Marvin Harrison, but you could argue one of the best receivers coming out of college. I don't know why he gets so much hate. Like, who cares that he's small? Tariq Woolen, we're talking about, isn't he like 5'10" or something? 5'9", I think. But I can see Tank Dell being a top 3 to 5 wide receiver in our league. I mean, next 4 to 5 years, maybe 2 years. I'm a big fan. I don't see the problem with height and weight. And people talking about how he's going to get injured easily. I saw something that he didn't miss one game his entire college career. And he's really good after yards after catch. He can take a hit, and he could run around guys. He's quick. He's speedy. But we'll see how he levels out with strong safeties and corners and free safeties in the NFL, the best of the best.
3rd and 3. Tune. Corner. Open. Caught. Tank. Tune. Throws to Tank Dell. They had him isolated.
On top of this, he wrecked cornerbacks at the Senior Bowl. I was watching that. He looked like the best guy out there. I mean, his route running is very good for a college player, And if you go check out those Senior Bowl highlights, and you'll see why I'm really high on this guy. That's it for my takes for this season. Let me know in the comments what your opinions about my takes. If you agree, disagree. And thanks for watching the video. I'll see you next time.